This is pretty crazy. I've seen this kind of thing in comics a couple times. I know Tom Taylor got some weird death threats as well. And I get this kind of thing on like about a weekly basis. And it is something that should never happen, and we condemn this kind of thing. I definitely criticize Deniz Camp and his work on the Ultimates. I think he's absolutely destroyed that comic book. And I think criticism's good, and I think that kind of thing should be voiced, just so these people who are working on these properties like know when they're doing something wrong. I mean, that's important. But this kind of thing is never acceptable. There's no reason to ever go like this. I sympathize with Deniz Camp today. I actually wrote him an email. I doubt I'll get a response because you know how these people go. Very, very sad. Rules for thee, but not for me, right? But this is a pretty disgusting thing, and we do need to cover it. All right. Leave a comment down below. Please smash the like and subscribe button, everybody here. I'm a comic creator myself. I've been maligned, smeared. I get threats all the time from people in the mainstream industry. They really want me dead, and they're totally cool with that. I never get any sort of sympathy from these people when they go at me like this. I've been attacked by Bleeding Cool. I've had DC Comics people try to get me banned from multiple platforms and succeeded. And it's all because I'm making graphic novels without their permission, doing commentary on their books that they don't like because I'm a better writer than most of these people, including Deniz Camp. Yes. And so this is my 66-page graphic novel, The Emerald Array. It's a Space Marine graphic novel, Space Marines versus Bug Monsters. It's a lot of high-tea action. It is what comics used to be. I definitely got my bona fides and from just learning from people like Chuck Dixon how to make great comic books. And so check this out. You're going to love this. It's got a lot of Jack Kirby in it. It's got a lot of classic Star Wars. It's got a lot of classic Warhammer 40K elements. This is just like the sci-fi you've been looking for. So grab this. This is in the description below. Get it $16,000. We're getting real close right now. Really appreciate you guys for backing and supporting this so strong. And support it. Back it today. Thank you so much. So this is pretty wild. So Deniz Camp is writing a very controversial Ultimates line that most people are just panning because it's just so filled with identity politics. Now, it started out with the whole America Chavez bit joining this. So this is the forced diversity character nobody wants. It's a world where like the Avengers are corrupt and no good. And there's this like female Polynesian Hulk as well who's like rants about white people and colonizers. Yeah, it's really like, oh gosh, stop. And her disabled minority BIPOC Hulk squad is going to be here to the rescue, I guess, against those evil white people. And that's kind of what he's been writing this whole time. It's been weird identity politics. It's been painful. He actually bragged about Hawkeye. Ultimate Hawkeye is like some Native American anti-white activist as well. And naturally, I get a lot of questions about Charlie's gender. I'm worried to talk about this stuff. Feels like cheating. He's not worried to talk about it because he's ashamed of it, though, which he should be. But here it is. Yes, Charlie's pronouns are they, them. I didn't want to make a big deal about it because it's not in the book itself. So Marvel didn't want to put it in the book is what I'm reading here. The editors were like, you can't do this. This is too far. We've let enough of your woke nonsense in. We're not going to do this. And so he naturally takes to X and goes, yeah, they, them. Yeah, that's great. Right before the election when he realized, oh gosh, nobody actually wants this crap. So I've been criticizing this very, very heavily and criticizing his stuff. He's very heavily addicted to marijuana, as I also reported the other day, which I hope he recovers from as well. And he posted this. This is where it gets crazy. And, of course, we never condone this. We never ask for this over here. He said, I've gotten my fair share of death threats and threats to R, my wife, since writing the Ultimates. Generally, I let these things roll off my back. It's cheap to make death threats in the modern age, but this one titled, Please Don't Make Me Your Wife, is over a line. And yeah, it is. It's disgusting. This should never happen. So on the email here, it says, please, your comics disgust us. I wish you could understand that. By the way, we're also in Brooklyn. So they signal that they know where they are. I know how your wife looks like, her address. I'm serious. I'm not kidding. This is horrible. And then posts a picture of, guessing that's his wife. So he says, I'm not angry or scared. It's pathetic. It's also not credible. I'm just saying, chill out, get out into the world, get a life. And yeah, this is disgusting. And somebody doing this is absolutely disgusting. There's no equivocating from that, and it should never happen. Absolutely sick over comic books of all things. The gun in the photo is from some forum. It's not real. This is not scaring anyone. They're not living in Brooklyn. Clearly, it's not deep. But this is disturbed behavior. My wife is also fine because she's a trooper, and that's good. I'm glad to hear that they're fine on Christmas. That's what we want. And so I wrote Deniz Camp because, I've seen this sort of thing quite a bit. Like, I get this all the time. I got a lot of threats, especially back in April, May this year. I've gotten threats when Bleeding Cool covered my stuff back in the day. Gotten threats when WorldCon banned me and libeled me, calling me a racist, which I fought them in court and won. And of course, all those threats, I've gotten a lot of weird stuff. Talks about my children, things like that from people. All those threats, it's like you gotta just like suck them up and move on, because this is the world we live in, and this is how creepy people are, and this is what's going on for sure. There's a lot of this, and of course, they love to post this and try to paint it as like the MAGA chuds are terrible people, but like I get way more of this than he does, I'm sure, just reporting on the news. And here's the thing, like while he's getting a lot of accolades and all that, I've seen some DC Comics guys on his thread on X saying, we're stand with you, blah, blah, blah. I see that all the time. I've never seen one of these people go out and make a post and say, hey, don't do this to John Delarose. He's reporting on comics. He's a comic influencer who makes his own comics himself. We stand with him. Never saw that once. In fact, all these guys do quite the opposite. Like they try to get me banned from platforms. They try to get me blacklisted. They try to get me banned from Comic Cons. Heather Antos actually called security on me at San Diego Comic Con 2 years back just for sitting in a panel. Armed guards. I could have gotten shot because of these people. And that's how they treat you if you're on the outside. It's really interesting and I wrote him because he went on Mark Miller's channel and talked about things, saying there's no blacklisting of politics and comics. There's no cancel culture is not real. He literally said this, and I'm just like, this is funny, haha. And so I wrote him and I said, hey, obviously I don't condone this. I want to wish you guys a Merry Christmas. Hope you're safe. But the double standard in the industry is very, very real. And again, like while you're going to get a lot of sympathy bucks for this from your industry people, they would never do this for somebody on the outside. In fact, they'd probably encourage it. And it's really, really sad that this exists as a double standard as well. And I also said, this cancel culture thing's very, very real. And it's a big deal. And you should notice that at the very least, just based on how you're received because of your corporate approved politics here. And how they'll cheer for you, and they'll say, "Oh, it's terrible that somebody does this to you," and try to make some blame game out of it. But if somebody's on the other side of the political aisle, again, just never will do that. So again, yeah, this is terrible. I'm sickened seeing this today. It shouldn't be happening at all. Definitely, criticism is a good thing. We should be able to criticize these comics. We should be able to vocally and loudly tell these people, no. Our gender identity is non-binary. We're not going to buy this. And we should let these people know that like their work is atrocious. It's anti-American, anti-Christian, anti-white male. It's racist. It really is. And it's terrible. But there's no world in which you should threaten violence, especially somebody's family members, as we know. And I know this. My audience would never do this kind of thing because we got good people here. But yikes, what a day right before Christmas to see this kind of thing. Hope these guys are safe. Deniz Camp, I hope you watch this video and hope you stay safe over the holidays. And guys, have a good Christmas. And let's make comics great again, my friends. Let's get away from this type of stuff, get away from the nastiness, and make things about like great books with a lot of fun. Grab this today. It's in the description below. If you like my commentary here, guys, you're going to love my books. Check it out. Thank you so much for all the tremendous support so far. We'll be back soon.